This is the story of a young man who wanted to see the world. His name was Brady, and he had a restless spirit that longed for adventure and discovery. He had always been curious about life, but he felt that something was missing. He wondered if he was truly living or just existing. He decided to do something that would change his life forever. He bought a motorcycle and set off on a cross-country trip, leaving behind everything he knew. He had no expectations. He just wanted to explore, to experience, to wonder. He rode for days and nights, sleeping in a tent wherever he could find a spot. Sometimes he would camp in the wilderness, surrounded by nature and stars. Sometimes he would camp behind abandoned buildings if there were no other suitable options. He met all kinds of people along the way, some friendly, some not. He faced all kinds of challenges, some easy, some hard. He felt all kinds of emotions, some pleasant, some painful. He was on his way to see his girlfriend, who lived in another state. He thought that she was the reason for his trip, but he soon realized that she was not. He realized that he was doing this for himself, for his own growth and happiness. He felt free, free to follow his own path, free to pursue his own wonder. He felt alive, alive like never before, alive like he always wanted to be. He discovered new places, new cultures, new perspectives. He learned new skills, new facts, new ideas. He questioned his beliefs, his values, his goals. He expanded his mind, his heart, his soul. He returned home after several weeks, but he was not the same person. He had changed, he had grown, he had evolved. He had seen the world, and the world had seen him. He had lived, and he had wondered. The day he returned, he felt such a longing for intense adventure that he ran 14 miles straight with no training or preparation. He was not satisfied with his old life anymore. He wanted more, he wanted different, he wanted better. He decided to do something that he had always dreamed of, but never really taken seriously. He wanted to live in a van. He searched for the perfect one, and after many tries, he found it. He transformed it into a tiny home, using online tutorials and his own creativity. He installed a bed, a kitchen, a solar panel, and everything else he needed. He was proud of his work, even though it was not perfect. He had built a home on wheels, a home that could take him anywhere. He left home again, this time in his van. He drove to Colorado, where he found a job at a coffee shop. He stayed there for a few months, enjoying the mountains and the snow. He made new friends, new memories, new stories. He had fun, he had peace, he had wonder. It was around this time when he would break up with his girlfriend. He knew that he had to keep moving, keep exploring, keep wondering. He knew that he was not made for settling down, not yet. He drove to other states, other regions, other landscapes. He visited some of the most beautiful places in the country and some of the most ugly. He experienced some of the most amazing moments in his life and some of the most awful. He felt some of the most intense emotions in his heart and some of the most numb. He was addicted to travel, to adventure, to wonder. He could not get enough. He loved his life, he loved his van, but he also felt lonely sometimes. He missed his friends and his home. He craved human connection, human warmth, human love. He was an introvert, but he was also a human. He had times when he was on cloud 9, when everything seemed perfect, when he felt blissful. He met girls and went hiking and motorcycling and different places every day. He would mountain bike some of the most thrilling routes. He lived in California on the beach in a beautiful surf town for months, making friends and connections of all sorts. He felt happy, he felt grateful, he felt wonder. But he also had times when he was on rock bottom, when everything seemed hopeless, when he felt miserable. Sometimes the reality of living in a van in a parking lot would strike him, leaving him feeling rejected and worthless. He felt angry, he felt bitter, he felt wonder. He wondered why he was doing this, why he was living this way, why he was chasing this dream. He wondered if he was happy, if he was fulfilled, if he was sane. He wondered if he was missing out, if he was wasting his time, if he was making a mistake. He wondered if he should stop, if he should go back, if he should change. He couldn't quite put his finger on where exactly he should go next. This was true for both his physical location and the direction he wanted to grow in. How we wanted to make money to save for traveling, whether or not he was ready for a travel partner, what would be the best opportunity to take between all of the options. Brady would eventually discover the truth behind his sense of aimlessness. Being lost was not a curse, but a blessing. He had the freedom to explore the unknown, to embrace the present moment, to appreciate what he had. He didn't need a map or a plan to find his way. He just needed to follow his curiosity and his intuition. He was not lost. He was on an adventure. He might never see the people he met along the way again, but that didn't mean they were not important. They were part of his story. He was not alone. He was connected. He might not know where he was going, but that didn't mean he was aimless. He was not looking for a destination, but for an experience. He was not wandering. He was discovering. Being lost was not a problem. It meant that he had the courage to challenge himself, to grow himself, to surprise himself. He didn't need a purpose or a goal to live his life. He just needed to live his life. He thought that he needed to know what he was living for, but he was wrong. He didn't need to know. He just needed to live. He just needed to embrace his uncertainty, his curiosity, his wonder. He just needed to realize that being aimless was not a weakness, but a strength. That being aimless meant that he was always open to the infinite possibilities of life, and that's what made him feel truly alive.